LearningRx gave me tools to build new pathways in my brain to allow me to recover from a traumatic surgery to move forward. My name's Maurice Lethbridge. I live in Woodley Park, Washington, D.C. I probably had fits as a child, the English term for seizures. And then later in my young adult life, I developed a tumor that was around my pituitary gland. We found it in 2001 and treated it with chemicals. The tumor shrank from the size of an orange to the size of a pea. And when it did that, it left scarring on the right temporal lobe of my brain. And that scarring introduced seizures. By the time of about 2019, they were happening quite frequently and quite powerful, that we decided we need to do something else. It was not a case of taking more medication. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to keep popping pills and keep popping more pills. My doctors were already at Hopkins and they said, well, go in and remove the smoking gun. So they went in there and drilled a hole in my head, took an ice cream scoop, scooped out a third of my brain. They took out the right temporal lobe, or pretty much most of the right temporal lobe, part of the amygdala, which is what it sits on, and a piece of the hippocampus, which is what that sits on. It left me with 80 some odd stitches from here to the back of my head, and then 3 days later kicked me out. I started working with Nicoya at the end of that week, and that lady is phenomenal. I had an instructor like Nicoya who was not only an instructor, a coach, she was a mentor in a way, and to get me from my headspace where I was right after the surgery to a headspace of moving forward, I would definitely say I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for her. I am not somebody who has 2/3 of a brain in his head and is emotionally challenged. I feel the capacity to live, and part of that was brought on by knowing that I can do the exercises LearningRx. The dialogues that I had with each of the coaches just reinforces the strength and the inner strength that you have, which gives you the confidence to live life outside of LearningRx. LearningRx is a powerful set of tools and people and a program that will enable somebody like me who had a traumatic brain injury to not only recover from that injury, but also to move forward from that injury by building new channels in their brain, by stepping away from the injury and building upon their existing capacities to move forward. Over the 2 years I was with LearningRx, the results were off the charts, and I rebuilt the pathways in my brain, and now you've got Maurice 2.0. Maurice 2.0 is in a good place, and he reluctantly accepts he's got a seizure condition. He's still got work to do, but he's in a better place.